Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Front Office Report. We have just finished doing our NFC predictions for the upcoming NFL season. So we figured it is only right to move into the AFC conference and start figuring out who will be the division champions. Maybe we'll start with the East. Just to kind of kick us off, that's consisting of the Patriots, Jets, Bills, and Dolphins.
Have you just got a hat for every single division, man?
Yep.
Well, I mean, maybe we'll start with Gabo. I mean, clearly a bias already happening. Gabo, is this the Dolphins' years to take it?
No. No, but honestly, the Dolphins was the first stadium, I think, only stadium that I've actually gone to in the NFL. Hopefully, I'll get to visit Daniel at some point to go watch a game there. Yeah. But no, I mean, look, Miami is a much better team than it was 2 years ago. I expect Tua carry them into the 10 winning record again. I just don't see the Bills losing here. You know, the Bills is just the better team. Josh Allen is just the better quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I would be content with drafting Josh Allen even in the 4th round, 3rd round as a quarterback.
Yep.
And you got Stefan Diggs still there, killing it with was it the stat set from your game that he was like the most,
he had the most receiving yards last year. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know. Bills are playing incredibly. I see them taking over. I don't see New England. I mean New England. I feel like they're getting back up there slowly but surely, but I just see them landing 3rd. And let's not even bother talking about the Jets. Jets will be Jets forever. But
Jets got a Jet.
Oh, that's cute.
But yeah, no. I'll see. Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets.
Seb, do you agree? Do you agree the Jets are just going to Jets or?
Yeah, I mean the Jets are going to Jet. Let's talk about the rest of the conference because the Jets don't have a chance. Realistically, though, I think I agree with Gabo. I don't see any team really challenging Josh Allen and the Bills. I think overall they're just a far greater squad, better depth. The Patriots. Yeah, just aren't quite there. The only team that I could see making a bit of a run at it would be the Dolphins. Their defense last year was pretty good, was pretty solid. And I think there was rumors that the Dolphins were considering a trade of Tua if he doesn't have a good season. So whether that sort of brings him out and makes him really sort of play out of his skin as such. But I just can't see. I can't see anyone beating the Bills.
Well, imagine Rodgers going there.
Oof.
Where to? The Bills.
Dolphins.
Oh, the Dolphins. Oof, that'll be interesting.
That'd be really interesting. Well,
I mean, he would love being in Miami.
Not really, because his family's on the other side of the state. So actually, I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Yeah. Well, you never know. So I think, Dan, you're probably in agreement as well with that the Bills would come up top. Who do you think then will come 3rd? Because, I mean, it will be clear then that Miami will probably be 2. Do you feel the Jets will continue being kind of the worst team out there? Or do you think with Robert Salah, things might be a bit different?
Yeah, I think with Bill Belichick, you're always going to get a little bit of something out of your players. He doesn't need great players. I mean, look at the Patriots teams of the past. They're not particularly great. I mean, Tom Brady's obviously great, but they didn't have, elite at every position. They're just very well coached, very well drilled. So I don't see them being worse than the Jets. Jets have a lot of rebuilding to do. I think this is definitely in a rebuild. So, give Adam Saleh, numerous years, 2-3 years to get his team going. He has a lot of crap to basically scoop up and throw away and, build his own team. So I think the best thing the Jets can do right now is tank, to be honest with you. Try to get the best players they can in the upcoming draft. There was talks of Deshaun Watson. Can you get rid of the cat? Fuck's sake. So I'll cut that out. I can't do it when the cat's going fucking nuts, man. Anyway, there's been talks of Deshaun Watson wanting or being possibly traded to the Jets. So that would help out a lot. So I think the Bills, the Bills and the Bucks are about as safe a bet as you could probably put together in terms of winning those divisions. There's just no chance that Josh Allen and Stefan Diggs are gonna regress enough to see the Dolphins. And I don't even really like the Dolphins that much. I don't particularly, not that I don't like him, but I don't believe in Tua as a great quarterback. A lot of people in college like them, but being a college quarterback and a NFL quarterback are two different kind of like sides of a coin. But we'll see. I hope he does well, but I just don't see it just from what I've seen. So it'll be interesting for sure, though.
I hope the Patriots move on from Cam Newton quicker than I think.
They
and
could
Mac
also
Jones.
be kind of like running out the clock too, the same as the Jets. Kind of like, okay, let's just run out the clock, get some good, decent picks underneath us. Bill Belichick can rebuild, get that new Tom Brady in. Because Cam is not the answer, and I don't. I think he knows that as well. He's just collecting a paycheck at this point.
Well, they picked up Mac Jones. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
again, I don't think Mac Jones is particularly good. So many people had him very, very high on the draft board, and I'm glad he kind of like fell. He is nowhere near a Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields or even Trey Lance, and I don't particularly think Trey Lance is going to be very good either, compared to Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. I don't know. I mean, if he was going to succeed, Mac Jones, it would be in New England because he needs like a very strict rule book and be like, this is the way we're going to play. You're going to do this. You're not going to go out partying, blah, blah, blah. Kind of like Tom was put under. It's very strict. Very, there's no leeway at the Patriots. Whereas if you went to, Miami or, New York or somewhere else, it would be probably very different.
Yeah, 100%. So maybe we'll go to a slightly easier division to forecast, which is the AFC West, consisting of the Broncos, Chargers, Raiders, and of course the Chiefs. Sab, we'll go to you. Do you think? I would imagine Chiefs Kingdom is there to stay. They've managed to keep all their pieces somehow. It's like as if the salary cap does not exist at all. Is there any way they'll be taken down, or is this their year?
No, I think, again, if you're building your bet and you want some safe division winners in here, add the Chiefs in as well, because again, I just don't see these other teams. I mean, unless I think you can count the Broncos out. I'm not high on the Broncos.
Yeah.
The Raiders, I think, are still a few pieces short. If it's going to be anyone, I would say the Chargers, because Justin Herbert did have a great season. They have still got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, who are good weapons. Austin Eckler is still solid. They got Joey Bosa. It's not a bad team. I just don't see like Kansas is just a juggernaut, and when you have, Mahomes is an all-world, generational player. So I think you could probably lock that in.
And honestly, even without Mahomes, that the one or two games where he was out injured, that backup super old quarterback that still played really well.
Chad Henne?
Yeah, Chad Henne. Like, you would expect. Yeah,
you have all the weapons that they have.
Yeah,
though,
exactly.
It's not
just throw it. Someone will catch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think even I might be able to find Tyreek Hill for a little touchdown here or there, but yeah.
So maybe Gabo will go to you. It seems like the Chiefs are there to stay, with the Chargers kind of locked in as a number 2, as Seb was saying. Between the Broncos and the Raiders, who do you think has a better chance of taking that third spot?
Well, I wouldn't say the Chargers are locked in second.
Really?
So the Chargers are the team that should be winning more games, but they don't.
They were the unlucky. The amount of games they had that were like 3 points
Herbert was having amazing games, yet he couldn't get those wins, and it just tanked his
as a rookie too. Remember, he's still very young.
No,
absolutely. Lot to go.
I think there's a lot left to do. I don't know how dead the rumors are, but Rodgers is still, the two main options are with two teams here in this conference, which would be the Broncos and the Raiders. There are teams that are close to his home. So whether he lands there, it could be amazing, could be another contender. Obviously, even if Rodgers is there, I don't think he can beat the Chiefs there. But I'm gonna say Chiefs first, obviously. Then I would actually go with the Raiders second, Chargers third, and then Broncos last. Broncos seem to be like, okay, if we don't get Rodgers, we need to figure out our quarterback situation. We need to. And the Raiders, I don't know. I've always liked Derek Carr. Not that I could put my trust in it and put all my money in it, but I don't know. It's a team that I enjoy watching, and hopefully Josh Jacobs can kind of turn around from his terrible kind of ending towards the season. But I'm a big Herbert fan, so I hope the Chargers, get that second place. They did beat the Chiefs, I believe, twice, maybe. Maybe I'm wrong there.
I think
Yeah.
they
So,
beat them last year. Yeah.
so actually, Herbert's breakout game was against the Chiefs when he was told he was going to play 15 minutes before kickoff because that physio punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung, which to me is a crazy thing.
That physio initially must have been like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my job," and then now he's like,
"Yeah, he's like plan calculated." Yeah.
Well, by the way. Hope Tyrod is actually okay, for the record.
Yeah.
Hope
I'm sure he's fine. Okay. He's fine.
But you know what's funny, Gabo? You say you like Derek Carr. So actually Devontae Adams on multiple interviews has said if it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers, I would have loved to play with Derek Carr.
I'm sure they're good pals, aren't they? Yeah, did they go to college together or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they went to college together. So if I think Devontae Adams is on his last year of contract, if he's not going to get traded, and he's going to be a free agent, and then. Wow. If the Raiders have enough cap, like who wouldn't want Devontae Adams? Like even if he regresses a tiny bit, he's still better than I'd say most of the other options that they have. If not, he'll be a phenomenal complement to Henry Ruggs, I believe, with his like speed, deep threat speed. But last but not least, Dan. So we have someone who believes the Chargers are going to be second. We have someone that believes the Raiders are going to be second. Are you gonna be the wild one and say Broncos second, or do we have a unanimous agreement?
With Drew Lock.
I think we're underestimating the Broncos a bit. I'm not really sure if I'm ready to say they're second. But you're talking about they need a quarterback. Well, Deshaun Watson is available. We all know he's available. He's been linked for the last 4 or 5 months. We don't know what this court case is gonna bring, but I don't think the Texans are gonna want to hang on to him. I think this is gonna be a massive rebuild. There's no point in hanging on to Watson for 4 years and that rebuild to finally be starting in 4 years. And it's just like, well, we didn't really get any use out of Watson. It's kind of a waste of his time. It's a waste of the Texans' time. If we want to tank, just tank and have a crap quarterback. And, not crap, but Tyrod Taylor, you guys are talking about, he is the Texans' backup right now. Yeah. Just give him the job, get rid of Deshaun, get those picks in. I think Denver would be a great place for him. And if he does go to Denver, and this is, very hypothetical, I think it's very plausible for them to be in a, fight for second place. This division to me is about as close as the NFC North is. These two divisions are kind of the most exciting ones, I would say. Definitely anything can happen. It takes one, like you guys said, one injury and, things could flip on their head. I think the Chargers are very, very exciting. I think you guys are talking about Devontae Adams going to the Raiders. I think that's very plausible. Raiders is a great destination for any NFL player who doesn't want to be 25 living in Vegas with no state tax or anything like that. It's a great place. 100%. Great place to be, and big market for tourists and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's gonna be closer than most people predict. I think 2, 3, 4 is going to be anyone's game. I think Kansas is kind of locked in, like Seb said. If you want to put that parlay in with the Buffalo Bills and the Buccaneers, then go for it. But 2, 3, 4 just seems to be kind of like up in the air with me, depending on who's at quarterback, who's healthy, who's developed. So I think it's going to be a very good division and one to watch.
So I'm glad we brought up Deshaun Watson. Obviously, still. Dealing with legal proceedings, and regardless of the outcome, just hope justice is served. Whatever the outcome is, it is the righteous and fair one to all parties involved. But as of right now, he is still with the Texans, which are currently in the AFC South. So that's consisting of the Colts, Texans, Jaguars, and Titans. To me, Jaguars are doing a massive rebuild. Texans are kind of all over the place. So this is a two-headed monster of a race. Gabo, do you feel Colts have an advantage, or is this going to be to the Titans with a Julio coming in? What are your thoughts? You're on mute.
If you had asked me...
Yeah.
If you had asked me 2 years or 3 years ago, what conference would be one of the most interesting to watch in 2021, I would have never said this one. But I am very, very excited for my man Ryan Tannehill. I am very excited for Julio Jones there. I am very excited about AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, and just seeing them match up against the Colts D. So it's going to be, a very nice, Colts, like you said, it's between those two. I do think the Titans have the edge.
Really?
I do think the Titans are going to take this division, and I do think they can actually have a run for Super Bowl. I do think that they're actually going to end up maybe like 11-5, 11-4. Wait, No, they're adding a game now, so 12-5 kind of record. So I'm excited. But I will say, Titans are taking this division on my end.
Oh, Seb, you had a very disgruntled look to you. Do you not agree with Gabo?
There's part of me that thinks maybe the Colts can do something.
Depends on the quarterback.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be the big what if Carson can not turn the ball over loads and loads, which is a big if. Then I think that their defense looked really, really good last season. They've got a good offensive line. But again, like you look at that addition that the Titans made with Julio Jones, and you just think that is one disgusting, like four-headed monster with Tannehill, Derrick Henry, AJ Brown, Julio Jones. Like, yeah, that's tough. But you know what? Just let's make things different here. I'll go for Colts. Let's say the Colts surprise things. I think again, like Gabo said, I think this is a really close division, and I think it could be. I mean, who knows? Trevor Lawrence could come in and just be unbelievable. You never know. You never know. But yeah, and we're not even going to bother talking about the Texans. Well, Dan can, but I don't think they're worth.
Dan can.
No, I don't think you would want to. So Dan, as our final tiebreaker, do you think it's going to the Colts or to the Titans?
Personally, I think Titans. I don't believe in Carson Wentz at all. The Titans are just stronger in almost every facet, especially on offense, and they've only gotten stronger with Julio Jones. When you got that kind of star power coming in, and you're already basically smashing that division, it's just going to make it. I think that they could be contenders. They're a very, very good team. Weirdly, the bookies have the Colts and the Titans almost neck and neck in terms of favorites for that division. So, but I just think Titans are so much better. And I mean, every team in this division gets an easy dub against the Texans twice. So that's nice for them. Jaguars, I believe in long term, very much so. As an Ohio State fan, Urban Meyer won the championship with them. He is so good. He has so many contacts in college football. I think the draft is going to be massive for the Jaguars. I think to him, this season isn't about winning. It is about developing Trevor Lawrence, getting a decent draft pick. You're not going to get the number one pick. That'll be going to the Texans unless they trade it away for something stupid again. So I think long-term Jaguars are going to be favorites. But right now, to win it all, it would be the Titans for sure. They just look extraordinarily good in nearly every single area. And, who can stop Derrick Henry, really? You need 3 or 4 elite defenders to bring that guy down. Julio Jones and AJ Brown, opposite sides. Man. How are you which corner are you going to choose to, a corner or safety you're going to choose to mark them? Ryan Tannehill having almost the best season he's had in a long time with them. So it's looking good for them. I mean, I wish I was a Titans fan. I wish I'd stayed with the Houston Oilers and just gone with the Titans. So yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think the bookies probably have them very, very close, is because yes, I mean the Titans have a phenomenal firepower on offense, but I personally think their defense is still very laggy. They don't have the strongest secondary. They lost David and Clowney to a team that we're about to talk about, which is the Browns. So I think their biggest issue is the defense. I mean, as we've seen in the last Super Bowl, Tom Brady still played fantastic, but it was actually the Bucs defense that really made the difference and won. I mean, they always say defense wins you championships. Yep. So I think that's probably why there's that discrepancy, because the Titans defense is immensely weaker than the Colts. But as I think it was, I would agree with that.
It's just kind of like trying to outscore. It's just trying to outscore like the Titans at the same time.
100%. I mean, it will be a very, very, very close division. And, to talk about a very, very close division, I've saved the best for last. What a division. We have the AFC North. I would say three potential Super Bowl teams. And the fact that I'm not saying they are favorites. I'm just saying they have the potential to go all the way. I mean, you have the Steelers, you have the Ravens, you have the Browns, and then the Bengals, who don't even have an indoor facility, but that's a different conversation. You have 3 immensely impressive teams who I would say have either done a lot of development for their young players, and hopefully they have an even bigger breakout season this year, or have done a lot of smart, off-season moves. So, maybe we'll start with you, Dan, and bring back Jadeveon Clowney, who has gone to the Browns. Out of those kind of top three teams, who do you have as taking the cake?
Oh, it's so difficult. I live in Pittsburgh, so it's difficult not to take the Steelers.
Well, that too.
But I don't know. I couldn't. It's really a coin toss between these three teams. I think the Browns are stronger than they've ever been, and that's going to hurt a lot of Steelers and Baltimore fans. That it's always been them dogging on the Browns, and now it could be the other way around. Finally, that the Browns have kind of like suddenly just become an elite team. I wouldn't call them an elite team yet because that's on paper. They have to go out and show it. They have to get to a Super Bowl final. They have to win the division and conference. Like there's a long way to go before we can call them that. I think the Steelers did well in the draft, getting Najee Harris. I think he's better than James Conner personally. I think the Steelers got better in the backfield. It's just, can Big Ben stay healthy? Why are we still? To me, I don't like Big Ben. I don't like Big Ben at all.
He's lost a lot of weight. To give him credit,
I don't care. Well, no, okay. People say he's lost a lot of weight, but he's still got a dad bod. It's not like he's an elite athlete. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Kyler Murray. I know he's very old, but it doesn't take a lot to slim down a lot. But to me, he is an interception king. It's just he doesn't look good, and Steeler fans will argue all day about whether he should be the quarterback or not. I personally don't think so. Baltimore, anything can happen with Lamar Jackson. It's definitely just a toss up. So to me, I'm gonna go with Steelers are gonna win it, followed by Browns and Baltimore, and then the Bengals can sit at the bottom for a while Joe Burrow gets games underneath his belt, kind of like Trevor Lawrence, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting division. I have no idea what's going to happen with this one.
Seb, what are your thoughts? You had a bit. You were oof. Yeah, I heard a lot of oofs and oof as Dan was saying. Do you not think it's there?
No, I don't think the Steelers are it. I just think again, I think Ben is old and fat. I think he's past it, to be honest. Dan said it there. He's an interception king. So I'm counting them out. I think the Bengals again are just a bit too early in their sort of rebuild as such. I think Joe Burrow looks fantastic. Joe Mixon is really good. Jamar Chase is a fantastic draft pick. They've still got young wide receivers in Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. So they've got some good potential there. But I think it's a bit too early for them. So I would see it between the Ravens and the Browns. I think of the two, I mean, it's difficult because Lamar Jackson is another quarterback I feel on the same level as Mahomes, who is just sort of all worlds, next level, just doing crazy things quarterback. But I feel that the Browns have the better overall squad. I think Baker's improved. You've still got a fantastic running back in Nick Chubb. Odell Beckham, maybe he has a bit of a comeback season. Rashad Higgins looked solid last year. So yeah, I think I go with the Browns.
I also just want to say the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know we talked about strength of schedule and whether it's accurate or not in the last podcast, but this one, Pittsburgh do have the most difficult strength of schedule this year. So it's going to be tough for the Steelers if that is correct. I mean, they have to play the Browns twice, Baltimore twice, and then they got a very, very tough. Last year, they had like the easiest strength of schedule. So, and they went on that kind of like crazy unbeaten run before losing every game after that.
But then that's the thing. I feel they had a really easy schedule that, they blasted 10, 11 wins in a row. And they came 11, up against some slightly more difficult teams, but then some that they lost that they really shouldn't have lost.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of funny living here because a lot of my friends are Steelers fans, and it was like every week was like, oh, we're 7-0, we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. We're 11-0, we're going to the Super Bowl, and then the next couple of weeks was just like empty Instagram stories. No one was saying anything.
I think if my memory hasn't failed me, I think it was against the Washington football team, who I think last year were really underrated. I mean, I don't know if you guys I've seen on the NFL official Instagram page, they keep posting Chase Young working out, and it is scary. I was just thinking, he's I don't know, like, not that he's hit that tier yet, but he is heading towards Aaron Donald, kind of scary-esque, just having sheer amount of size and being so quick. And even to give him credit as well, Montez Sweat on the other side. I know a lot of people, when the Washington football team drafted him, were like, oh, this guy's a bit random, but he is rapid for his size. He can get to the quarterback very, very quickly. But I've seen Gabo also agreeing with both of you. So Gabo, do you feel this is the Steelers, or is it the Browns, or will Lamar have another MVP season to carry the Ravens, who actually done a few smart offseason moves? They got Sammy Watkins, who, regardless of what you think, is still a very reliable wide receiver, and I think that was one of their biggest issues last year, to kind of have that solid WR2.
Yeah, so I'm actually a bit surprised that the Steelers are being ranked a bit higher for you guys. Like, I agree. For me, I'm glad you agree, Seb, because I was just about to say that no matter how many good weapons you have and how many offensive weapons you have, if you have an inconsistent quarterback, you're not going to win games. Vikings. So
it's not the quarterback, it's the offensive line.
Anyways, I think there's a clear-cut winner here, actually. I think it's the Browns, hands down. The Browns that you mentioned, they're only getting better. I do believe Jadeveon Clowney is just going to make that defense a lot better. OBJ is getting back. I do believe in my boy OBJ, one of my favorite players, if not my favorite players in the whole league. Sadly, I haven't been able to see him these last 2 years, but he's been working out. He's strong. And it's just that Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt kind of duplex is just so hard to stop. It's kind of like those running backs, like if you're drafting and you have them there, it's like, I don't know, but the numbers say yes. Yeah. So I don't know. I do think that the Browns are gonna take over that league. Steelers, on top of everything that I said, the fact that they have the hardest schedule just makes it even worse for me to just rank them as an easy third. It's just I think Big Ben, the worst decision that he could have done for his team was to keep playing. So kudos to him. Kudos to him. I mean, bear in mind, I actually got into football when Aaron Rodgers beat him in the Super Bowl. So that's when I kind of got into this whole thing.
When the Aaron Rodgers simping started.
That's where, that's the birth of it. And I don't care all the weapons. I'm glad to hear that Najee Harris is better than, well, in your opinion, better than James Conner. I'm excited to see him. But yeah, no, I just see Browns taking first. Lamar Jackson is a lot of a toss-up as well. That team is kind of like a, what if Lamar does well? What if he doesn't? What if he runs it? What if he starts passing it more? What if? Mm-hmm. But even that what if is gonna make them take it over from the Steelers. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bengals take 2 wins against Steelers. Like, it could happen. These in division games really are completely different from any other outside of division games. So hopefully Trevor Lawrence can take them.
No, Joe Burrows.
Joe Burrows. God damn, can take him to those victories there. So Browns take this one.
Very, very close division. But yeah, I mean, I think, again, very similar thoughts on all the different divisions. That conference, I mean, I'd say this year, especially with the addition of the extra game, the changes in teams, the very interesting draft, especially after a college season where there wasn't much college football. So a lot of these talents that might be big names might be even better than we think because they haven't played as much, so their bodies are a bit more fresh, or way worse than we think because they had such little tape that it's not the most accurate view of them. So time will tell, but I think overall we're on the same page. Very exciting season up ahead. Let us know your thoughts, everyone. Like the video, comment below your predictions. Subscribe to our channel. We are pumping out content on a weekly basis consistently. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys soon. Peace
out. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like hearing us ramble about sports, feel free to subscribe at the top right, check out the next videos on the left, and feel free to leave us a like at the bottom. Thank you guys for watching.